Hi dear rollers. Today I don't have the time to do the stream, another one, because I'm planning a coffee shop stream in a bit, just like in 2 hours. In 3 hours from now when I'm recording this, but when the video is launched, it's gonna be like only 1 hour, 1.5 hours left until the stream. So join me, Georgie from Ukraine Matters and Lena from Crimea on the coffee shop stream on my channel here. So what I wanted to provide you, the news and a very cool and for me very important video that I would like to translate for you, just like I did with Sternenko's stream yesterday, translate it real time, like narrate it in English. And it is, for me, it's going to be very important. And it is very important. So let's begin with the piece of news. Well, the news, we'll get to the news, but a statement from Sternenko that he had, which I totally agree with, and that's what I feel. So guys, let me translate it for you. Here's the translation. It's important to understand that protests have a cumulative effect. Most people take to the street because there's a wide array of unresolved issues, from anti-corruption policy to military reform, from that crook Trukhanov still in office to Buzhansky sitting in parliament. Trukhanov is the mayor of Odessa, totally Russian thug and criminal. That's why the slogans are so diverse. People came out and the controversial law was just a trigger. Ukraine now faces two paths. The road to real change or the dangerously explosive preservation of problems. Even in the current protests subside, society will not calm down. That much is clear. The state must maintain an ongoing dialogue with the public and respond to challenges. To preserve the country, to endure, and to become stronger. We either change or we perish. Exactly. So I must tell you that this law was just the last drop in the series of injustice and corruption that we have in the country. And you see, the problem is, yes, the NABU and SAPO are not not the best institutions, but to be honest, they are among the best we have in Ukraine. And those institutions that are not being independent are horrible, guys. We don't have an independent judiciary system, and most of the decisions that are made in courts are just terrible and pathetic, and they are unfortunately led only by the pockets of those who make those decisions, by the prosecutors, by the judges. So we have a problem here, and these are the institutions that should be reformed: prosecution, the Prosecutor General Office, and the judiciary system of Ukraine. And you see, we Ukrainians are enough. We had this unverbal or unwritten agreement with Ukrainian government that we are not protesting until they are completing the will of the people, and they were not doing that successfully in the last few months, and that's what it led to. We're done. We're fucking done with this. We cannot be silent because they are not committing their part of their deal. They are not following that agreement. So what I wanted to show to you today, guys. Now, give me a second. I'll quickly find it. Yeah, so this is a video, guys. Simply fantastic video from... yeah, here it is. Oh, I think it's the second day of protests near the Franco Theater in Kyiv. Yes, guys, this is the second day, but let's watch the video from the first day. It is shorter. It's going to be faster for me to translate for you, but I ask you to probably wait for the translation of the second one. I'll definitely do it because it's just fantastic. So let me translate this one to you. So what did the Ukrainian media, Ukrainska Pravda, which is investigating a lot of corruption in Ukraine, what did they do during the first day of protests 2 days ago, 22nd of July? They put like a booth with a microphone and people on the protest, right like in the middle of protest, mostly, the protest is happening behind them. They were able to express what they had on their heart, and oh my God, guys, it made me cry at some point. You will see multiple people, I would say up to 20. Yeah, you see, it's all divided by sections, and in each section, person is talking over multiple people at the same time, but it's around 20 of them. And it's just fantastic. I think they might even have the English dub-in. That would be just perfect, but I don't think they have it. Let me see. No, they don't have it, but the subtitles, let me see. Ukrainian auto-generated. And I'll translate it into English and will correct the automatically created subtitles if the English version is not good. That's how I usually do it on my streams. So here's a stream experience for you if you're just watching the videos and don't have the time to come to streams. Let's go. Tell the truth, this one says. Tell the truth to the Ukrainian Truth Project, in which we record the opinions of Ukrainians about events in the country, in the world, and in our lives. So, random Ukrainians. Not all of them, of course. There's going to be a deputy in the end. Actually, one of the few credible and trustworthy deputies we have in Ukraine. Let's go. The first filming of the protests took place on July 2022, actually, of the project. The protest against the bill that deprives the anti-corruption authorities, NABU and SAPO, of their independence. Hands off NABU and SAP, this one is chanting, I mean, this guy, and not only him, people around him. I was there, I was on that protest, and I'm proud of it. We Ukrainians are not being silent. We can start, okay? My name is Yaroslav. I am a retired military officer from the Armed Forces of Ukraine. And I think about what is happening in the country in a very negative way. And I'm not talking about the war now. I'm talking about what's happening there now and what's happening in Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. So first he was showing the direction of the office of the president, and then he showed another direction, which is the Verkhovna Rada, our Ukrainian parliament. Right? Let's go. In the office of the President of Ukraine, laws are being passed that they are not about preserving the state at all, but about simply filling someone's pockets. Yeah, and I totally agree with this. I want the authorities to understand that no matter how much they get fat, meaning how much money they will steal, there will always be a stronger force against any force. And this force will be the people of the country who will oppose all authority. And even though I'm a... Bydlo is like a redneck, or like a... Yeah, I don't think there's an analog in English, but she means like she is, she's not an aristocracy, she's like a, like low-life representative or something. That's pretty cool. I'm a citizen of this country, and I am far above any mandates. I am far above any bills. Because I have the right to choose how to live in this country. If Volodymyr Zelensky signs this law, you can see that these girls are students. I will lose faith. I don't know. We're just moving towards... So I remind you guys, this was at the first day of the protest. At that moment, we still did not know that Zelensky signed the bill already. So we still had hope that he will veto it. And we were demanding to put the veto on it. We were holding signs that were saying veto this fucking law 12,414. So this girl says that she will lose faith if he will sign it, the amendment, you know. I don't know. We're just moving towards this, toward becoming part of the European Union. And everything just really throws us back decades. She says this will throw us back decades if he signs this amendment. When people gather again to say that there are some, I don't know, idiots in power, that's all. Buzhansky is a pig, this guy said. That's all. Buzhansky is that pro-Russian deputy, openly pro-Russian deputy, who actually issued that amendment, who presented it. By law, I believe that one day we will wake up in a very democratic country where... shit. I don't know, I get emotional when I try to translate this, because it's a dream of so many Ukrainians, guys. And this dream is so fragile. Very democratic country where there will be many times less corruption. I know, because we went out on the street as many times as needed. In the meantime, we're all here together protesting against the destruction of two institutions that fight corruption. And I feel a sense of warmth and comfort that there are so many people here. And I'm confident that the right values that we uphold here will prevail. I lived for many years under occupation. He said for 6 years, actually, in occupied Luhansk, just like me, bro. My thought, guys, sorry that there are some lyrical notes to this, but my thought was, what the fuck is happening? Why I left why I left occupation to just come to this, which is, yeah, just listen to the guy. And most of my life was connected to the occupation, and when I moved out, fled, experiencing oppression by Russian special services to the territory from the territory under their control, I hope that Ukraine would continue to go only to the European Union, only to freedom. And I'm sorry that this situation is developing now, that is increasingly resembles the place I moved from the occupied Luhansk region. This is all that is happening here now. It is very similar to November 2013. In general, what Volodymyr Zelensky's government is doing during the month of July is very similar to what Viktor Yanukovych's government was doing in general. It is very gratifying that even under martial law, people are gathering and ready to protest against arbitraries. This gives hope that authoritarianism will not prevail in Ukraine. Authoritarianism or authoritarianism, that's how you say it in English, okay? In Ukraine, after all, just as it did not prevail before. I am Dasha, I'm 26, and I stood on the Maidan when I was 5 years old in 2004. And then on the Maidan in 2014 when I was 14 years old. And here I am standing again. To be honest, sometimes I want to stop standing and wish my country would already achieve the future I've dreamed of my whole life. I have dedicated my life to learning, to bring real change to my country. And seems to me that today we saw that these are the changes that I was so happy about for the last 11 years, and they are trying to partially undo them. It's quite depressing, but I also know my people, I see them here, and we will stand as long as it takes. If veterans go to protests together with young people, or young people together with veterans, which we saw there yesterday and the day before yesterday, then fuck. Guys, you maybe don't understand why I'm getting emotional when I translate this to you. I don't know how to explain it to you. Just listen. When young people are going on the protests together with veterans, then something is deeply broken. And if something is deeply broken, then it must be fixed somehow. That's it. It's very simple. His t-shirt says, search for motivation in yourself or become it for someone else. Kostya Stambul Yuzvyuk. So this is actually a quote from the words of the soldier with the call sign Istanbul, Konstantin Yuzvyuk. And something is telling me that he is already gone. That's it, it's very simple. Greetings, I want to tell you about Ukrainian Mariupol. It was a wonderful city, and many people really wanted to stay and live there. Newly renovated old houses, European roads and parks. Words just can't express how good they are. There is no such city in Ukraine anymore. Please remember it, appreciate it, and most importantly, remember his defenders. Glory to the heroes. I am the fighter of one of the brigades of the guard of assault, of offense. We had such brigades created in 2023, guys. Maybe the end of 2022. And this is the soldier, a fighter of one of those brigades. And what I think about a recent event that is happening, that is fundamentally wrong. Our state has always fought, our nation has always fought for its independence. And now, what is happening? The bill to to make unindependent the NABU, it unites, not unites, розв'язує, it ties, unties the hands of the people in governing our state. And this is fundamentally wrong. So it is actually, he says next, the translation is totally broken at this part. He says that what our government does, the people who are governing our state, what they do with this, it's fundamentally wrong because it unties their hands to do wrong things in our government, in our country, with our country. And this is fundamentally wrong. This guy says, I'm ashamed that I'm not at the front. However, I am not ashamed to be here today. and from time to time, in synergy with other people, shout slogans that give a sense of unity, which has been a little lacking lately. I want what scares me to end like war, and I want to take steps towards that. That's a huge coming out of this guy. I want to be bolder, and I want to be funnier because I'm a stand-up comedian. That's, guys, there are like real revelations in this video. I'm so emotional right now. I'm convinced that Ukraine has a truly bright future when a crowd of thousands of people gathers in 3 hours to express their protest. It really gives motivation, and I think that those who are now on the front lines are glad that they have such a rear that so many people care about. People are ready to take to the streets and claim their rights. Everything will be Ukraine. There was a lot of loyalty to politicians, but now, under this law, Lviv and Dnipro are already being tightened in their squares. And it seems to me that if this law is not repealed, there will be very, very unpleasant consequences because people will not stop protesting. We are thus rolling back in some Yanukovych time. I don't know. Well, actually, there is a desire for us to develop. Actually, we are here for this development and the path to Europe, and not the other way around, to the Pshonki and Yanukovychi. Please, we really appreciate your veto. This is the end. Congratulations. I am here today from Odessa to support the Ukrainian people to whom I belong in taking away, no, not in taking away, in taking my right to be democratic. We won in 2013, 2014, and we will do it again. Today, at the initiative of concerned citizens, a similar action against this bill took place in Odessa, as well as in other cities of Ukraine, in Dnipro and Lviv. It's a pity that it is precisely these kinds of events that unite Ukraine. Yeah, I totally agree. It's a pity. However, we see that Ukrainians of different political views have taken the same side today. I really hope that the president of Ukraine will veto this law, the draft law. Unfortunately, he didn't veto it, and he signed it. It was, I remind you, on 22nd of July. And this incident, this event will not continue because it will only lead to destabilization. No one benefits from this. Therefore, hope for the best. Glory to the nation. Russia benefits from that big time. So, Zelensky, bring unity. God damn it. Shame, shame, shame. People are chanting there. Yes, we were chanting. Shame, shame, shame. Hanьба is a Ukrainian word for shame, and that's what we were also chanting. So this guy says, but you see it all yourselves. Today, July 22 is summer vacation day. Therefore, Ukrainians, mostly young people, many veterans came to the Franco Theater to express their attitude towards the government of Zelensky, towards the President Zelensky, towards all the chaos that is happening in Ukraine since 2019. Although, well, everything is predictable, anti-Maidan returned to Ukraine in 2019. We saw it. People who were on Maidan, who fought for the independence of Ukraine, now Now the anti-Maidan is driving, and we saw it today, and only together can we, I don't know, turn this around and change it. Because without victory over the internal enemy, there will be no victory over the Moscovian enemy. This, the sign of the guy in the pink cap says, Nabu and Sapo are not for your schemes. And I agree with that. I want to say that I was very outraged today by the news that our deputies do not understand that they need to work for the country, not against it, exactly. That's why I came for this little poster for my friends to convey, with my friends, I think, to convey this to them gently, very peacefully, to all 263 people who are a little out of this world. Exactly, 263 deputies who voted for this amendment, sneakily voted for it. And they thought we, Ukrainian people, will not notice. Ha! I want to ask those people who pressed the green button today to come to their senses. And recently, NMT took place. I actually don't know what NMT is. Sorry, guys. And please read the history, because his sign says history doesn't teach us anything. With the black letters, it says the law number 12414 is a shame. Yeah, because the history teaches you nothing. Losing the country, shaking the country, at the time when we are already on the brink, this is the most unacceptable and requires a veto of the bill 12414. Pretty short and very informative. Okay, I can just say hello to my friends in Donbass who are currently fighting and who are following how this action is going, how this rally is going, the protest. We are students of the Kyivo-Mogilянska Academia, political scientists. We believe that this law suppresses, completely destroys, or rather subordinates the anti-corruption infrastructure, subordinates it to the president of Ukraine, and generally makes anti-corruption bodies dependent, which in its turn affects all state institutions in general and can lead our state to decline. This law undermines everything we have built over the past decades. I personally believe that with this law, the Verkhovna Rada spits on the graves of the Heavenly Hundred who died here for our country to join the European Union, for the fact that we could live freely, like without any oppression from the state. And he said Hrabunkiv, stealing, without any stealing from the state. And Verkhovna Rada is spits on our true Ukrainian values. So, first of all, we all understand that the structure of Nabu is far from ideal. Yeah, everyone gathered behind me absolutely agrees that it is terrible. Nabu is terrible, he says. And it's not perfect, and it has a lot of flaws. We are all waiting for long-standing cases to be resolved, and we all understand that many of them will not be continued. Many of them will not end in anything. Nevertheless, this institution is one of our steps towards the European Union. Nevertheless, It is what allows us to move there. And yet, it is one of the few independent, at least to some extent, institutions in Ukraine that can at least somehow do its job. Exactly. Exactly. Amen. What can I say, guys? Yes, it is terrible. Yes, we were terribly unlucky, but being directly subordinated to the authorities, directly to the prosecutor general, and in other words, directly to the president, is much worse. We are here against making things worse, although we understand how deep in a hole we are in now. So we all want to be in the European Union, EU, not in the S, not in pizdец. Pizdец is like a fuck up, not in a fuck up. I congratulate you. You really achieved your goal. You had a goal to unite Ukraine. We unitedly hate you all and will let each of you... It's hard to translate this. He said, no, we are unitedly hating each and every one of you. He is talking about the government, and we will make salami out of you. I believe that Верховна Rada and the deputies should deal with the... No, not deal, but like manage, not manage, but like... how to translate it? Займатися. Like making it better, making a better life for people, for the military, help them, pensioners, and not make like Довбойобські is like a dumbass or stupid laws that they can suck even more money and fucking suck even more money. Пиздили is I would say fucking suck. Слава Україні, героям слава. I want to live in a free, independent state. I want to make decisions and be responsible for them, not have decisions made for me. Yeah, exactly. It makes me angry that in my country, my education is not valued, that doctors are generally treated as something unnecessary. I'm infuriated by the healthcare system works well because it doesn't work. It just clinging to the sticks and shit. It really pisses me off that you can't have an opinion, express it, and not go to jail for it. That's what makes me angry, that Zelensky would have expected, who would have expected Zelensky to become so authoritarian. No, that's okay, that's expected, thank you. Against the backdrop of the noise happening around us, we are a tired generation, but we are the ones who are capable of creating a new culture. I want to emphasize the importance of maintaining mental health. Watch your breathing and turn to your inner silence to have the energy to move forward. My name is Yaroslav Yurchishin. Here's the deputy I was telling you about. One of the, well, I would think one of the deputies who we don't feel the shame for. He's the head of the Committee on Freedom of Speech. Well, I would really like to thank the Ukrainian society, which is not silent. Yeah, this deputy is 100% did not vote for this, 2 days ago, did not vote for this stupid amendment, so he has the right to speak here. He really wants to thank the Ukrainian society, which is not silent, which is ready to defend even such a difficult wartime, in such a difficult wartime, those achievements after the Revolution of Dignity, for which the Heavenly Hundred died, which give us the opportunity to stand firm, because uncontrolled power is sliding towards authoritarianism. And it's great that Ukrainian society, even in such difficult moments, finds mechanisms to convey its position. And behind me, there's a huge number of young people who came out to protest against the Ukrainian government's disconnect from reality and to emphasize that they will not allow the independence of the anti-corruption infrastructure, which is the basis of our democratic and European integration hopes, to be deliberated, put under attack. Thank you. We will definitely win. So, as I told you guys, I noticed that there is part 2 to this video, and I can actually translate it to you tomorrow, or some next day soon. And oh my god, I'm so happy that I did it right now, that I translated this for you, narrated this for you, because it's easier to perceive information through hearing it, in my opinion, than through just reading the sometimes broken subtitles, and that are not really given the understanding what the person is saying. So here's a little help for you from me, and there's another thing that I wanted to tell you and show you. It is the videos from the protests of the day 2. I went there yesterday too, and I made some videos, and let's look at them. So guys, you can see that there are a lot of people, and on the second day there are like at least twice or maybe 3 times more people than
there are many more people today
than it was at the first day, and much noisier. A lot of people joined the protest. So many signs, and it was really hard to move around. Too many people for this place. Not such a big square. Amazing signs, like Воротняку на гіляку. The corrupt ones on the branch. People are really sick of this shit. It's my arm now. People are chanting, "Why the fuck do I need the system that is working against me?"
Many more people today.
Why the fuck do I need the system that is working against me? Wow, the cinematic mode gives a much better picture. I gotta use it in the future. Look at this. Oh my god. That's the mode to use. It unfocuses sometimes, yes, but still good. Ukraine is the right state. The state, правова держава, is like where you have rights. The sign at the front says Верховна instead of Rada, Zrada, the Верховna treachery. Ponad uсе, you know this chanting, guys. Влада це народ. The people are the power. The power and like the state. State is the people is the state. That's what That's what these people are chanting. Me together with them. That sign said, love the Ukraine and fuck the power. Meaning, fuck the government. In terms of control them, not like fuck it, but like oversee it. Владу ебить. People are chanting, power is people. Mr. President, don't push the horses. Did you see the sign there?
Слава ЗСУ!
I was joining chanting Slava ZSU, glory to the armed forces of Ukraine. That's what people are chanting there. Фронт гине, поки тил захищає корупцію. The front line is dying while the rear is defending corruption. We will lay our soul and body for our freedom, and we will show that we brothers are of the Cossack ancestry, I would say, or Cossack spirit. Together, we are many. You cannot defeat us when we are united. This chanting comes from the revolution of 2004. You see the girl and the guy are standing on the big trash can there, and here's the office of the president out there. This is why I was pointing the camera there. And this is the people were leaving the sign there.
Героям слава!
От щоб що? What for? What for did you do this? Yeah. Please also enjoy some awesome photos from the protest. So the streets were pretty crowded, and you can see that it's full of people. Here's a shot from the epicenter, or near the epicenter. There were people with loudspeakers there too, if it is the name of that thing. A lot of people of any ages, young, middle-aged, and also not young. So you see, this is actually already by the end of the event. People were also leaving the messages on the asphalt there, like this one. The destroyers of the constitutions, the masters of illusions in the country. The country has the contusion from such an abusion. That's perfect. A poem. And here's me with a sign. Mine says, "The citizens are not dumb. We see right through you." And this is the list of those who supported the amendment. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Sorry that this video is so long, but all of it is very important. And, you know, the last thing I want to mention is our NAFA truck campaign, the ongoing one. Currently, we're on 41,029 euros, so it's grown by like 1,500 in the last 24 hours, but we need to keep the pace to close it in at least a month. This is, well, this can happen faster, right? But I am hoping at least for a month. So guys, in drones we trust, may the Borscht be with you, and the Nefer truck, the Patriot from the collection of weapons. These 3 patches you can get for donating to this campaign. Please support the army. 2 units are still waiting for the trucks. 118th Brigade and 65th Brigade. The guys from those brigade are waiting for the trucks. Please donate to this campaign and support them, and we'll help them get the vehicles as fast as fucking possible. The first link in the description is the donation link of this fundraiser. Thank you guys for all that you do for Ukraine. Keep standing with the Ukrainian people, not with those who want to deceive them. Live long, prosper, and donate. And Slava Ukraini! Ukrainian people will not be oppressed. Героям слава!